Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kids, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really solid the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. The east side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets from New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where they go to meet the Mets. Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats, where they go to meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting and you stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really solid the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. The east side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Of New York town.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of our 2019 Deep Drive Baseball Replay. And Deep Drive is one of my favorite games. It plays quick. The cards are easy to read. It has a lot of nuance. It's just a game that's pretty simple, straightforward, fun to play, accessible. You get all the players. It's $12 for the whole PDF 2019 season. They have a few other seasons available, 2001, 1985, 1971. So there's a few other seasons available, and they're actually allowing people to try out this game for free at this point. I think you can go to the site Deep Drive Baseball, just search that, and you can find it and try it out for free. They'll give you a couple of teams. You can replay the World Series between the Astros and the Nats. And this is game 72 in our replay. The Mets are the Mets in actuality were 34 and 37. And in our replay, we are 31 and 40. So we are at game 71, and we've really struggled as of late. We were basically about 3 or 4 games better than the actual Met one-loss record to the point up to about 15, 16 games ago, and I don't know what happened. From that point on, we lost, I think, 14 out of 15 games, and our record really took a beating. So now, and I think it has a little bit to do with the couple of players we're missing, and I think those players are back now, and I think things are going to turn around for us. It was Jeff McNeil who was out of the lineup, and then it was Seth Lugo who was out of the lineup. Those are 2 key guys. Jeff McNeil was I think he was 4th in the batting title in 2019, and then Seth Lugo had I think it was the only pitcher or one of the few pitchers that had 100 strikeouts and 100 innings in relief, all in relief, and that was Seth Lugo with a 2.80 ERA. So he was highly effective for the Mets. He was out for a while. Jeff McNeil was out for a while. That's a key part of their offense. So we're going to get started here with the game. It's going to be Zach Wheeler versus Mike Soroka. And Mike Soroka was 13 and 4 with a 2.68 ERA. So this is not going to be an easy game for the Mets. He's a 21-year-old right-hander against the wily veteran Zach Wheeler. and Wheeler was Wheels was 11 and 8 with a 3.96 ERA in 2019. The lineup for the Mets, we are playing at SunTrust Park. You can see the ballpark card there. And this game comes with ballpark cards as well as every single player. So you can do actual replays. So that's one thing I really like about this game. And as you can see, the cards are really easy to read. They're not cluttered. There's not a lot of additional information. The font is fairly large. Um, and it is a 50-50 game. You get the batter 0 to 49, and then you get the pitcher 50 to 99. We are going to be rolling. Let's see, rolling. We are going to be rolling. Let's grab it here. It's 3d10. The red one starts us off, and then it's the white one. So that would be like a 44, right? And then the red one, the green one is going to be the informational or modifier die, if you will, whatever you want to call that. And with runners on base, we roll a 20-sided die. On a 1, we roll for a wild pitch, pass ball, pick off, that sort of thing. A little bit like Strat in that sense, where you get that additional die roll, that 20-sided die. I'm doing the same thing here. Let's see if we can get this into view. I think that'll work. That's pretty good. That's close enough. And that's about it. Let me go over the lineups and let's get started. Let's call play ball. Jeff McNeil leading off. He'll be in left field. He plays third base, second base, left field for the Mets, and then eventually gets to right field. So he's carded at those 4 positions. His best rating is at third base, actually. So now all the ratings on the cards are directly contingent on the cybermetrics of the season. It's not anybody just saying, "Hey, I really like this guy. I think he's a really good third baseman." No, it's based on a kind of norm, and then if you're better than the norm, or you're below the norm, and that's how I think most of the guys are rated. And it's a fairly fair system to use, and that way it's not left to anything subjective. All right, so it's going to be McNeil in left field, Alonso at first base, batting second, batting third, and Robbie Cano is back. He's had some leg issues. He's had some pulled hamstring issues. He's had some wrist and hand issues. He was hit by a pitch a couple of times in the wrist. So he's been he's missed the last 6 weeks pretty much. He came back for a couple of games, but then again was out of the lineup. Michael Conforto in right field in the cleanup spot. Ramos, the catcher, who's been hitting better as of late. Todd Frazier, the Todd father, at third base, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Ahmed Rosario. Batting eighth is the center fielder Lagares. And finally, batting ninth is Zach Wheeler, who's got a decent hitting card. All right, so let's get started. Let's start rolling. Here goes. Jeff McNeil, a left-handed batter, steps into the box. And that's a 44 off McNeil's card and a 9, and that's going to be lifted to center. So that's 1 out. McNeil flies out to center. And if you watch my streams, you know that it gets me when it's very, very quiet in the background. So I'm looking to see what I did with my there it is. So I get a little bit of sound in the background. It really freaks me out to have it so quiet that way. So we can get a little bit of that's not what we wanted in the background for sure. So let's see if we can get this one here. Let's try this other one then. All right, crowd, a little crowd noise in the background, and it's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso was hovering around the Mendoza line for a while, but it's really started hitting a lot of doubles. He's had bad luck, a lot of balls off the wall. Pete Alonso against Mike Soroka. Here's the pitch. And that's an 85 off Soroka's card. And that's a ground ball to second baseman. Hit hard on a hop. And at second base is Albies and throws out Alonso. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the first inning. Now it's Robbie Cano, left-handed batter. That's a 42 off Cano's card, and a 6 is a hard grounder to short. And up with it is Swanson. Fires the first, and that retires the side. Go to bottom of the first. It's going to be Ronnie Acuna leading it off in center field, followed by Dansby Swanson, the shortstop. Freddie Freeman, the first baseman, batting third. Cleanup is Donaldson, the third baseman. Markakis is the fifth-place batter in right field. Batting sixth is Austin Riley. He's in left field. Batting seventh is the catcher McCann. Batting eighth is Albies. And then batting ninth is Soroka. So here's the pitch from Zach Wheeler. And that's a 36. 36 is a defensive result. And one thing I did not do is, here are the charts. I did not separate them. All right, so a 36 is a defensive result, so we're going to roll again, and it's going to be that is a range check, a 60 range check, and that's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, Donaldson. Donaldson up with it, fires the first, and gets, I'm sorry, that was Frazier, gets Acuna. One up, one down. And it's Dansby Swanson. Pitch from Wheeler, 82. And then an 8, and that's a fly ball. Shallow left field. Racing in is McNeil, and he's there. 2 up, 2 down. Next is Freddie Freeman, bats from the left side. Heck of a hitter Freeman is. 32, and that's a ground ball to short. Right there is Rosario. Lets it fly. 3 up, 3 down. Go to top of the second. So as you can see, plays rather fast. Mike Soroka. That's a 0-3 against Michael Conforto. That's a deep drive, and Michael Conforto leans into one, drives it deep to left center field. See what's going to happen here. A 26, that ball is gone. Conforto gets a hold of a Soroka fastball and sends it into the right center field seats for the first run of the game. And it's Wilson Ramos next. 1-0 Mets here in the top of the second. Here's a 20. And that's strike through. Oh, no, that's a defensive result. And an 86 is a range play. Range play 86. That's a fly ball center field. And right there is the center fielder, Albies. Got a nice jump on that. And that's 1 out. Todd Frazier. 69, strike 3. Frazier. Down swinging. Ahmed Rosario next. And that's a 66, and that's back-to-back Ks. Mets pick up 1. They lead at 1-0, go to bottom of the second. Josh Donaldson leading it off, a 36 off Donaldson's card, and that's going to be a potential defensive result, and that's going to be a range check 82, and an 82 is going to be a line shot to left field and drops in front of McNeil. McNeil kind of froze on that a little bit, and Donaldson is on with a single. All right, now we're going to roll the 20-sided die. It's Nick Markakis. That's a 31, and that's some sort of an out of 9. That's lifted to shallow center field. Settling under it is Lagares. Makes the catch. Austin Riley. Here's the pitch to Austin Riley. That's 0-5, and that's going to be a deep drive. Austin Riley, right-handed batter, gets a hold of one, drives it deep to left field, and that ball is off the wall. That's going to be a double. Stopping at third is going to be Donaldson. Donaldson doesn't really have that kind of speed, or base running ability, because really a lot of these games represent base running ability. But it's going to be second and third now for the Braves. Left-handed hitting Brian McCann. McCann batted .249 with 12 home runs and 316 plate appearances. We roll for the wild pitch pass ball. There's nothing there. Here's the pitch to McCann. Infield's back for the Mets. It's early in the game. That's an 86. That's going to be off of Wheeler's card at an 86-6. It's a hard hit ground ball at shortstop. And we're going to see now. This game tells you if they're hard or soft ground balls, which is something I really like about it. A hard hit ground ball with runners on second and third is going to be an O, and that says runner scores, man on second holds. Makes sense. RBI for McCann on the grounder, 2 outs. Game is tied. And holding at second is Riley. Ozzie Albies. All right. Roll for the wild pitch. Oh, a 1. There it goes. Let's see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen. We got to check the yellow chart. I color-coded my charts, and I know exactly what's what. A 44. And I'll tell you what it reads. A 44 reads wild pitch if the rating on the pitcher is C, D, or F. And Wheeler is a C, so that's going to be a wild pitch, and that's going to allow Riley to make it to third. So a ball that bounces in front of Ramos, and it scoots all the way to the backstop. Be a wild pitch. And Albies. Now with 2 outs, and Albies batted .295. We got Soroka next, who batted .077. We're going to walk Albies. Intentional walk to Albies. And we're going to go to Soroka. And we're going to roll 1 die to see, again, a wild pitch. Nope, nothing there. Pitch to Soroka. And this could backfire. This could very well backfire because it's a 50-50 game. We could end up rolling off the pitcher. But that's a 13. That's strike 3, and Sider's retired. The Braves pick up a run. They tie it at 1. We go to the top of the third. Juan Lagares is going to lead off the top of the third for the Mets. It's going to be Lagares, Wheeler, and McNeil. Now, Juan Lagares is not around with the Mets anymore in 2020. They replaced him with Marisnick, and I hear he's at the San Diego Padres camp. Kind of like to follow the Mets. Lagares has been with the Mets for a while, at least since 2014, from what I remember, and probably a little bit before that as well, in the minors and so on. I believe he won a Gold Glove at one point. I think it was in 2014. So he, for a long time, was known as an elite outfielder. But over time, he's run into a bunch of injuries, and I think that's taken a toll on his defense as well. Juan Lagares, he's had trouble with the stick. Here's a pitch from Soroka. That's an 86 and a 3, and that's a hard hit ground ball, backhanded by Donaldson. Long throw to first, 1 away. Zach Wheeler. That's from the left side, a 98. And that's, again, a dribbler to third base. And charging it is Donaldson. Grabs it barehanded, fires to first. 2 up, 2 down. And it's Jeff McNeil. McNeil flied out to center in his first at bat, a 93 and a 7. That's a fly ball to shallow left. Coming in is Albies. Coming in is Riley. He's there. 3 up, 3 down. Go to bottom of the third. It's 1-1 in SunTrust Park. Ronald Acuna, leadoff batter, grounded to third in his first at bat. That's a 52. Uh-oh, that's a deep drive. Acuna gets a hold of that one, drives it into center field. And 86, that's going to be 1 hop off the wall. And Acuna's thinking about 3, changes his mind, hustles back into second. The throw to second, not in time, so it's a leadoff double. Leadoff double for Ronnie Acuna. I'm going to roll that 120-sided die to see if we get that wild pitch. Nothing. Playing deep drive baseball. You can try this out for free right now. I think if you go to the website, there is a promotion. You try out the 2019 World Series for free. This game's got 2 charts and 1-page rule. So this is not but it's got a lot of nuance. It gives you it's got charts for fly balls, ground outs. It's got hard ground balls, soft ground balls. It's got deep fly balls, shallow fly balls. It's got pickoffs. It's got line drive double plays. It's got tons of stuff for a game that's been so kind of condensed. So it's genius on a lot of levels. Now, All right. Let's see. I wrote from the bottom of the third, and Acuna is at second base with a leadoff double. Dansby Swanson is next. Be a lot of streaming this week. Got the week off from work. All right, here's the pitch to Dansby Swanson. All right, say 21, and that's strike three. So Wheeler rings up Swanson. Go to Freddie Freeman. Now, Freddie Freeman is really a danger in these spots. He's a tough out in these situations. Had 121 RBIs. That's a 72. Uh-oh. And that's strike three. So he blows a fastball by Freeman. Looked baffled on that swing. Something you don't see from Freddie Freeman very often. And next is Josh Donaldson, a 61. And that's line base hit center field. And let's see what Acuna decides to do here. He's very fast, so he's going to score easily. With 2 outs, he scores easily. And it's 2-1. RBI single for Donaldson, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And Donaldson takes his lead off first. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Zach Wheeler sets and deals to Markakis, a 53, and that's line base hit. Donaldson is going to hustle to third on this. First and third with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Austin Riley. Austin Riley, 22-year-old right-handed hitting outfielder, also plays first base and third base. Batted .226 in 2019 and almost 300 plate appearances, but showed, above average power with 18 home runs. Proportionally, had he played, that he played half the season, 80 games. Had he played the whole season, would hit 36 home runs. So I would say that he can hold his own in the fence busting department for sure. Austin Riley with runners on first and third and 2 outs. Let's see if Wheeler can extricate himself from this troublesome scenario. There's trouble in Gotham, Batman. Austin Riley, here's the pitch. That's a 32 and a 9. 32 is strike three. And after Wheeler strikes out the side despite allowing 3 hits and a run. All 3 outs were strikeouts. 2-1 Braves to go to top of the fourth. Soroka's on the mound for the Braves. He's facing Pete Alonso. He's a pitch to Alonso, a 27, and that is a strikeout. So Alonso down swinging. Robbie Cano next. A 51. That's a line shot to right. Single for Cano. Michael Conforto, he homered. Solo shot back in the second. It's a 99 and a 1. A 99 and a 1 is a pop-up. That's going to be on the right side of the infield. First baseman coming in. Catcher, no, it's the first baseman, Freeman, who makes the catch. So it's a pop 3 if you're scoring at home. 2 out. Runner on first. Wilson Ramos. It's a 26 and a 6, and that's a hard hit grounder at the shortstop, Swanson. Swanson flips to Albies, and that retires the side. Mets lead 1, score none. And at the end of 3.5, it's 2-1 Braves. Zach Wheeler against Brian McCann. 98 and a 1, and that's popped up. Left side. Right there's the Todd father. Squeezes it. 1 away. Ozzie Albies, he got intentionally walked earlier. 86 and a 0. That's line and caught by the first baseman, Alonso. So it's L3. And it's Mike Soroka now. Pitch from Zach Wheeler, 65, and that's strike three. And that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. We go top of the fifth. 2-1 Braves. The Todd father, Frazier, he's no longer with the Mets. Not sure where he is. I can guarantee he's playing somewhere. He's from Toms River, New Jersey. That's a 38-7, and that's a fly ball, right field. Towards the line is Markakis. 1 down. Pitch from Soroka to Ahmed Rosario, who struck out in the first inning. He's 62, and that's strike 3. So strike out twice now. And here's the pitch to Lagares, a 41. And the 6 is a chopper to the shortstop, who waits back, now charges, fires to first. And that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Zach Wheeler versus the top of the order, Acuna. He doubled and grounded out today. A 64, and that's a strikeout. Zach Wheeler blows a fastball by Acuna. Dansby Swanson is next, a 22, and that's strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. That's 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler. Freddie Freeman, he's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out, and that's a 70, and that's strike 3. So there it is, strikes out the side. Zach Wheeler seems to be getting stronger as the game progresses. We go top of the 6th now. It's 2-1 Braves. Zach Wheeler is leading it off against Mike Soroka. Mike Soroka is a 10 endurance, and so is Wheeler. So they'll be going a few innings if their pitching continues to be as masterful as it's showing so far. 85 and a 2, and that's a ground ball hit hard at the first baseman, Freeman. He's going to take it himself. It's a 3 unassisted. So Zach Wheeler pulled one, but right at Freeman. 1 out, McNeil now here in the top of the 6th inning. And that's a 16. That's line base hit center field. McNeil on with a single. He's 1 for 3, and it's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is really a power hitting sensation for the Mets in 2019. Hasn't really shown that sort of power here in my replay. I mean, he leads the team in home runs, but not at the extent to which he did so in 2019. Here's the pitch, and that's a 0-3. That's a deep drive off Alonso's bat to center field. Back goes the center fielder, Acuna, and that ball's gone. Pete Alonso puts the Mets up 3-2 with a 2-run home run. And we were talking about the fact that he leads the Mets in home runs, but just hasn't shown the same type of power that he showed in actuality. But here he shows us that, hey, don't count me out. I can get hot with the bat. That was a 28, and that ball was gone, center field, no doubter. Nice thing about deep drive is it has a little deep drive box for every player, and it really shows you his extra base hits. Everything that comes off here are pretty much singles, and the same as on the pitcher card. That's a very unique aspect. They have a deep drive mini chart on the card, and these are spaced beautifully. There's not excessive information on these. They're very easy to read. I mean, this game is really a diamond in the rough, basically an undiscovered gem, if you will. And that's why I keep on playing it, because it really plays a lot. It really plays nice. It has all the nuances. I don't think you can – it's not like with some games where you're like, well, this doesn't happen very often. I'm going to have to tweak it. It seems like everything just happens just like right about where it should be happening. It doesn't have a rare play. Actually, it doesn't have a rare play chart somewhere. I don't use it. But it's going to be Robbie Cano stepping into the box. He's a left-handed hitter. Robbie Cano is 1 for 2 on the day. One of my favorite players of all time, Robbie Cano. Mike Soroka now just allowed that home run and gave up the lead to Pete Alonso. Here's a pitch to Robbie Cano. That's a 59, and that's a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. That's the second hit of the day for Robbie Cano. He's on at first, and that's a throw over, calling card throw from Mike Soroka, because Cano is not going to be running. And it's Michael Conforto. We throw that 20-sided die to see if we get that one. Nothing there. And here's the pitch. That's a 66, and that's strike 3. Conforto gets him on the curveball. for out number 2. Oh, and it's Wilson Ramos. And that's an 80 off of Soroka's card. That's line caught by the second baseman, Albies, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up 2 big runs. They take the lead 3-2 on the 2-run blast by Pete Alonso. Go to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Donaldson, Markakis, and Riley. Donaldson, Markakis, and Riley versus Zach Wheeler in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. That's a 39 and a 4, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman, Frazier. Frazier throws him out. 1 up, 1 down. Nick Markakis is next. A 50. That's a deep drive to right field. And what's that going to be? That's going to be 1 hop off the wall. Oh, boy. Wait a second. Wait a second. That hit off the top of the wall. Did that go out? Did that go out? Let's check and see. That ball is gone. The umpire is signaling home run. This game is tied. Nick Markakis hit one off the top of the wall, and it was played out there by the right fielder, Conforto. So he fooled a lot of people in this ballpark, including myself. But this game is tied. And it looks like this is going to go to review. All right, so and it looks like the headphones are off, and that's a home run. So the game is tied at 3 apiece. It's Austin Riley, pitch from Zach Wheeler, 73. That's strikeout. Strikeout number 8-9 for Wheeler. And let's double check that. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 9 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler, 2 outs, and it's McCann, Brian McCann. That's a 17, and that's strike 3, and strikeout number 10 for Wheeler. Game is tied at 3. The Braves pick up the home run on the Markakis shot down the line. And we go top of the 7th. It's going to be the Todd father, Frazier. Frazier started his career with the Cincinnati Reds. Mike Soroka with the pitch. And we're going to start checking endurance now. And we're going to leave that there. Check endurance. Soroka's at 10. He's gone twice around the lineup. So that's 2. And he's pitched 6 innings. So that's 8. He's allowed at least a run. So that's 9. So he still can go. So he's used up 9. This would be his 10th. So he can go 1 more inning, I believe. So he's gone 6, 2, 8, and 9. This is his 10th. So, all right. So that's a 41, Todd Frazier, and a 6, and that's a hard hit ground ball. No, that's a fly ball left field. 1 out. Ahmed Rosario, who's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Pitch from Soroka, 51. That's a deep. Oh, no, that's line base hit to left. Single for Rosario. Rosario sometimes steals, but that's a -1, so that's a 1C. He's not going to be going with that situation there. So Rosario is going to be kept close by Soroka. And it's Lagares. We roll that 20-sided die looking for that 1. Here's the pitch to Lagares, a 76. That's a 2 is a hard hit ground ball at the first baseman, Freeman. Freeman goes to Swanson, back to Freeman, 3-6-3 double play. And that retires the side. The minute you see it's a hard hit ground ball, it's pretty much 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a double play. And we're going to double check that with a runner on first. A hard hit, that was an E, and that says lead runner out in the front end of the double play. So this is fairly intuitive. You're going to get your double plays off the hard hit grounders, generally speaking. And then the soft grounders, you're just going to get runners advancing no matter where. Like a soft grounder to short or to third is probably going to allow that runner on second to advance. That sort of thing. It's kind of intuitive, but it tells you, hey, this is a hard hit ground ball. This is a slow hit ground ball, and it has an effect on the game. So it kind of it makes it real, you know. it allows you to easily visualize what's going on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. And in the bottom of the 7th is going to be Albies, probably a pinch hitter for Soroka since he's out of endurance. And then we're going to see the top of the order, Acuna. Now we're going to do the same thing for the Wheeler endurance. Wheeler's gone around the order twice. That's 2 points. Subtract 2 points. He's also pitched 6 innings. That's 6 more points you got to subtract. That's 8. So, and then he's given up at least a run, so that's 9. So this is his last inning as well. And that's a 54 off of Zach Wheeler's card, and that's line base hit by Albies. Albies on, and he's a 1B stealer. Had 15 stolen bases. Now, Wheeler can really hold guys on. He's a -2. So we're not going to – Albies not going to be running there. All right, so we're going to get a – you know what? We're going to get a pinch hitter, and I use the actual lineup, so I'm going to quickly take a peek at this game and see who hit for the Braves. And it was Matt Joyce. We're going to pull Matt Joyce. There he is. Joyce is going to pinch hit. All right. I'm going to roll that 20-sided die, see if there's a 1 there. Matt Joyce. A lefty. He's a lefty specialist against a righty, so he's going to get an advantage. And that's an 89. An 89 is going to take us to a 19, and that is going to be a base on balls because that's a -50 points. Because that's going to be an out on Zach Wheeler's card. An out on Zach Wheeler's card, but you -50. Oh, wait, that's the wrong. That's I miss. Wait, it's not a 19. It would be a 29. A 29 is going to be a strikeout. So 1 out. And Albie's back at first base. Next is Ronnie Acuna. He's a right-handed batter. And that's a 7. Here's the pitch, a 99 and a 2. And that's a ground ball to the first baseman. And Alonso's going to go to second for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Acuna put on the Jets going down that line and avoided the double play. He's on a fielder's choice. But it's going to be a 3-6 on that medium ground ball. Dansby Swanson, here's the pitch. And that's a 56, and that's line base hit, and that's going to score. Oh, no, run around first. That's going to send Acuna to third. Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. So first and third now, and the Mets have action in the bullpen. Who's out there? Let's take a look at see who's out there for the Mets. Is going to be Familia and oh, no, not yet. Wait a sec. I got to go to the next game because in this game was a blowout. So the guys that came in, that's a blowout too. Got to find a close game so I can see who the Mets were using. Not too many close games in this series. That's a little bit better. Out there in the bullpen, who do we got? We got Gazelman and Gazelman and Lugo, 2 right-handers are thrown out there. Should have a lefty out in the bullpen. I'm going over these. Let's see. Let's go to the game prior to the beginning of this Atlanta Braves series. I know we still have Zamora lefty that we use. He's a lefty specialist type. Because this game was a blowout, 12-3. Atlanta wins this game, and this is a close one, so I don't want to kind of follow the same. We got Flexen, Pounders, Font. Those are the guys who pitched in the previous game, which was it was a close game. So Font, Flexen, and Pounders. All right. And the game previous to that, was Gazelman and Lugo and Diaz. All right, so we got Gazelman and Lugo out there. Don't have a lefty. I wish I did have a lefty, but I don't right now. So there's 2 outs, runners on first and third, and it's Freddie Freeman. All right, so it's the bottom of the 7th. The score is tied at 3. And there's 2 outs, runners on first and third. Acuna's at third. Swanson is at first. Freddie Freeman, the batter. I'd like to walk him and face Donaldson, who's a righty, just because Donaldson batted .259, whereas Freddie Freeman batted .295. And it's just a tough all-around hitter, especially with runners in scoring position. It's a 40-point difference. And we're going to intentionally walk Freddie Freeman. Intentionally walk Freddie Freeman to load the bases. And we are going to bring in, we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to pull a double switch. And let's see. Let's see who the Mets are going to bring in on the double switch. So we're going to grab. All right, we're going to grab Seth Lugo. He's coming in. And then let's see who the Mets have here. Pounders and Flexen, both righties. Those are my pitchers. I'm looking at. Let's see. Oh, Carlos Gomez. Okay, Carlos Gomez is still around. So I'm going to bring in Carlos Gomez is going to take over for Lagara's center field. And it's going to be Lugo goes into the 8th spot. So that's a quick double switch. And, okay, Seth Lugo versus Donaldson with the bases loaded. Using a highlighter system to to show where Lugo came in. All right. So here's the pitch. We're going to roll that one die to see if there's a wild pitch. Nope. And here's the pitch to Donaldson from Seth Lugo. And that's a 54, and that's going to be line base hit. That's going to score Acuna. The Braves lead at 4-3. And Swanson, let's look at Swanson's base running ability. He is fast, so he's going to go over to, let's see, if he's fast with 2 outs, he's very fast. And it questions me if I'm going to go to third or not. And you know what? I'm going, oh no, the bases were loaded, excuse me. Bases are loaded. So on that 54 off Lugo, that's a single, bases loaded. He's very fast. That's going to be, they're going to try to score him. So there's going to be a throw to the plate here. It's going to be a throw to the plate on the choice chart. And that's a 97 and the tag. And he is out at the plate. And that's the 3rd out. So the Braves score 1 run. And it's a perfect throw by the left fielder, McNeil. And they get Swanson trying to score from second base. RBI single for Donaldson. So the Braves go up by a score of 4-3. And we go to the top of the 8th. It's going to be a new pitcher for the Braves. We're going to take a look at who the Braves are using. And let's try to get a close game here where the Braves use somebody that's let's see who the Braves use in a close game. They use Minter and they use Swarzak and Minter as relievers. Let's go to the next Braves game. I need something close. None of these games were very close, so it's creating a little bit of it. 3-4 game. Okay, let's see who the okay. They're using Toussaint in close games, Webb in close games, Toussaint and Webb in this close game. Let's see if there's another close game. Toussaint and Webb, and then there's another close game. Who do they use? They got Blevins, Dayton, Minter again, Luke Jackson. All right. So let's pull some pictures. Let's see what we got. These are hitters. Where are my? There are my pictures. I got Jacob Webb. Grant Dayton, he's a lefty. Swarzak is a righty. They used him. Minter's a lefty specialist. Toussaint. Luke Jackson. So I got a bunch of pictures I can use here today. Those are the pictures that they've used most recently in games similar to this game. I use Baseball Reference, keep it open to my right. I have a laptop that I use on my right to just with Baseball Reference available to me. It's a 4-3 lead here for the Braves. That was 1, 2, 3 outs there. Oh, wait, it's not the end of the inning yet. Oh, yeah, he was thrown out at the plate. Excuse me. Okay. Thrown out at the plate, 7-2. Great throw by McNeil, who's not really a left fielder. Threw out Swanson to end the inning. And we're going to get a pinch. Oh, it's not a pinch hitter because we had a double switch. Who we expect to see here is Gomez for the Mets. Carlos Gomez leading it off. And let's get not Zach Wheeler, but Lugo is in the. Okay, it's all good. All right. So the new pitcher is going to be Toussaint. Toussaint's coming in. Now, in line to take this win is still Soroka. Soroka is the pitcher of record for the win. And it's going to be Toussaint, who was 4-0 with a 5.62 ERA in 24 games. Facing Carlos Gomez. In the top of the 8th inning, it's 4-3 Braves. All right, it's a 59, and that's going to be a ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. So Gomez singles. He's on at first. Now we got a lefty, a righty, and another lefty. So the Braves are going to the bullpen. Yes, they are. Braves are going to the bullpen. What do I do with their bullpen? And they're going to bring in a lefty specialist, A.J. Minter. And this is where it's deep drive baseball really allows you to be a manager and use strategy, because Minter is a lefty specialist, and he's going to get a 50-point advantage against a lefty like Jeff McNeil. So that's a huge advantage. So that was Toussaint came in. And now it's going to be Minter. So Toussaint faced one batter, gave up a hit. 7 innings for Soroka. And Soroka gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Gave up 3 runs, 2 home runs, 1 to Alonso and 1 to Conforto. And he struck out 2, 3, 4, 5. Struck out 5. He walked None. All right. And it's A.J. Minter against Jeff McNeil. All right. And here's the pitch. We roll for the wild pitch pass ball. Nothing there. Pitch from Minter. That's a 13 off McNeil's card, and with the 50-point advantage, that's going to take us to a 63 off Minter's card, and that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Stopping at second is going to be Gomez. So first and second. Next is Pete Alonso. Minter's going to pitch to Alonso. And a 94, that's a line drive and caught by the shortstop. They're going to go to second base to try to get the double play. And, oh no, not in time. So that's an L6. And it's Robbie Cano now with one out. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch from A.J. Minter, and that's an 89 and again a 0. And an 89 and 0, that's lined right at the shortstop. Swanson, again, to try to second base for the double play. And no, L6 back-to-back lineouts with an attempt to get the runner at second base. That's pretty funny. Doesn't happen very often. And now it's Michael Conforto, another lefty. And a 17 is not going to be a wild pitch. We needed a 1 for that. And here's the pitch. And a 73, and that's strike 3, and that retires the side. So A.J. Minter does his job. Wow. Go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3, Braves. Probably going to see Luke Jackson in the top of the 9th inning. So Minter went an inning, gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout. No walks, no runs. Maybe Jackson in that 9th inning. All right. Seth Lugo in the bottom half. It's a 4-3 ball game. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 Braves. It's going to be Markakis, Riley, and McCann. Against Seth Lugo. Here's the pitch. 16, and that is ball 4. So Markakis walks. He's on at first. Austin Riley, right-handed hitter. That's a 1. We're going to roll to see if we get a wild pitch at 53. 53 is going to tell us that wild pitch B, C, D, or F. B, C, D, he's a C, so that's wild pitch. And that goes all the way to the backstop. That's going to allow Markakis to go to second base. Riley with Markakis at second. Again, we're going to roll. Nope. Pitch from Lugo. That's a 68. That's strike 3. 1 away. Brian McCann. 32 and a 2, and that's a ground ball hit hard at the first baseman. That's going to allow Markakis to go to third. 2 out. I'm going to just double check that hard ground out to first base to make sure. Runner on second, hard ground out to first base is an H. Yep, runner advances. So a runner on third now with 2 outs, and it's Ozzie Albies against Seth Lugo. Here's the pitch. It's a 7, and it's a 17. That's going to be ball 4. So Albies walks, first and third. Going to get a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter is going to be, let's take a quick peek at who are the guys that were pinch hitting here. Joyce pinch hit, and Culberson, Charlie Culberson is going to come up to pinch hit. Oh, wait, we're not going to use Culberson against Lugo because he would be at a disadvantage there. Let's go to the next one. Who else do the Braves use here? Juan Camargo. I think he's a switch hitter. Isn't Camargo? Yeah, he is. So we're going to bring in Camargo to pinch hit. All right, so it's Juan Camargo batting from left side against Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo is one of the aces for the Mets relief staff. They don't have many. Here's the pitch. That's a 33, and that's going to be a fly ball, right field, shallow right. Racing in is Conforto, and he gets there, and that retires the side. The Braves leave 2, score none, and at the end of 8 complete, it's 4-3 Braves. Top of the 9th. Luke Jackson's coming in to try to pick up the save. It's going to be Ramos, Frazier, and Rosario against Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson had 18 saves in 70 games, 27-year-old right-hander. All right, here goes. It's going to be Wilson Ramos, right-handed hitter. Ramos today is flied out into a fielder's choice and lined out. That's an 18, and that's a strikeout. 1 up, 1 down. Todd Frazier next. 81, and an 81 is a strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Luke Jackson. Holy smokes. He's got big strikeout numbers. His ERA was 3.84. He pitched 72 innings, but had 106 strikeouts. So that's 2 outs, and it's Ahmed Rosario. It's all on Ahmed Rosario's shoulders here. In the top of the 9th, the Mets are trailing by a run. See what he can do. 4-3 Braves, 2 outs, top of the 9th. Mets at SunTrust Park. That's a 23, and that's a defensive check. So we may get lucky on this. And a 55 is going to put us into the range zone, and a 55 to the second baseman. Albies, not sure what rating Albies has off the top of my head. And I'll remember after this. Albies is a 3. He's going to get to that. And he whips it to first. Oh, just gets Rosario, and that's the ball game. Mets lose it by a score of 4-3, unfortunately. They lost this game in reality as well. Their record drops to 31-41. They were 34-38 in reality, so I'm about 3 games behind where they were in reality. And like I explained, I went into the downward spiral of losing 14 out of 15 games after being like 4 or 5 games better than their actual record. And I just could not stop losing. It was just mind-bending. I'd fall behind in every single game. At least this game, it was competitive. I mean, the Mets were up until the bottom of the 7th. Actually, no, until the bottom of the 6th. They were up 3-1. And then it got tied in the bottom of the 6th. On the home run by Markakis, a home run that was a controversial home run. Looked like it hit off the top of the wall, and Michael Conforto in right field played it as if it were a fair ball. But then it looked like the Braves dugout started yelling that it was a home run, and they went back and reviewed it, and it was a home run, and that tied the game in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And in the bottom half of the 7th inning, it was Albies with a single. Then a pinch hitter, Joyce, struck out. It was a fielder's choice by Acuna. And with 2 outs, Swanson single, driving Acuna to third base, first and third with 2 outs. They walked Freddie Freeman to load the bases. And then it was Seth Lugo came up to face Donaldson, who lined a single who fell in front of the center fielder at the moment, Lagares, I believe. And that scored the fourth run, and that was all that the Braves needed to win the game. The final score is 4-3. Braves beat the Mets in game 72 of our replay. Once I get to 81 games, we'll start looking a little bit at the batting order, batting averages, and so forth of the players for half the season, and the home run totals, and so on, to see how they're doing in comparison. But I really believe that the stats are really holding their own, and they're keeping credible. No more so or less so than any other game, because I played full season replays with Strat and Payoff Pitch and Status Pro and APA. Okay, so you have anomalies. You got those guys that hit 30 points better or 30 points lower. You always have those guys, and that's kind of the reality of the games that we play, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. But this is CP Cards and Dice. So remember, this is your home for tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards. I have a new set coming in, the Heritage set, the 2019 Heritage set, which is a reproduction of the 1970 borders. And you're going to have modern players on those old style cards. That's going to be fascinating to look at. Rants and unboxings and so much more. And thanks for joining us in this replay of our 2019 Deep Drive Baseball Mets season. And that's all I got for now. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks for checking us out. Bye now.